You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much or that you threaten other women, because you're supposed to be a part of the sisterhood, but always stand out and always be grateful.
Grateful, grateful, grateful.
We did not arrive in this reality overnight. It was built, day by day, under the shadow of innocence. Families looked away, corporations looked ahead, and in the space between, the most fragile generation met the most artificial relic. Served as a toy, defined what the beauty is in the minds of young girls. The project was never to entertain. The project was the silence, to characterize a generation. Barbie isn't a toy. She is an abusive cultural educator. She taught not what the beauty is, but what it should look like. Symmetrical, silent, cold, and plastic. Barbie became the symbol of aesthetic obedience, quietly conditioning girls to evaluate their value and confidence based on the appearance before they even understand their body. She instructs not through words, but being unquestionable symbol of beauty for 6-year-old kid. Through consistent exposure from early childhood, these physical perfections settled into the mind and quietly defined what came to feel worth becoming. From a psychological and health perspective, Barbie's image-based legacy reaches physical reality. Her image shadows the rise of eating disorders, body dysmorphia, and chronic self-rejection, most acutely anorexia nervosa and bulimia. The data tell its own story. As Barbie became popular, diagnoses multiplied through clinics. Correlation is not causation, yet history rarely feels so coincidental. Her influence is not direct, but insidious. She embodies the fantasy of control, a body that never changes, never ages, never hungers. Psychologists have long noted the pursuit of control over appetite, over desire, over imperfection is the heartbeat of eating disorders. The body becomes a battleground between self-hatred and self-preservation. Barbie does not teach self-awareness or independence. She teaches the art of insecurity, how to doubt yourself beautifully, constant reminder of your worth and the reasons why things don't go well for you. Every disappointment, a failed grade, a lost friend, a broken promise is traced back to their reflection. They blame the curve of a body, the texture of a skin, the face that does not obey. They do not need anyone to criticize them. They have internalized the voice to torment them what is the true reason of every failure. Playing with Barbie was the rehearsal. Now, social media is the stage to perform.
Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself? Younger, more beautiful, more perfect.
Barbie is the hidden objective of the modern filter. An image so smooth it erases the need of filtering. In her reflection, girls learn to adapt themselves into the image they chase, or digitally use filter to adapt themselves. Plastic surgery becomes the physical extension of the digital illusion. The obsession with appearance digitally is not about beauty. It is about control, about survival, about the desperate hope to show yourself only visually to be accepted. It's an effort to control the narrative about your appearance among the social and digital environment. The postmodern body follows Barbie's blueprint, measured, perfected, filtered, until it no longer resembles a person, but advertisement for one. Now self-worth rises and falls with the matrix of approval, quantified by likes, views, glances. Each confirmation feeds the need it creates, each glance deepens the dependency. From Barbie to Instagram, from cosmetic algorithms to influencer faces, the body has become a project. No meaning, no purpose, only simulation for visibility. Barbie and Hollywood belong to the same cultural machinery. Both aesthetize ideals that replace being with appearing. One trains the body to perform beauty, the other trains the heart to perform emotion. If Barbie is the abusive educator of beauty, then Hollywood is the school of intimacy, instructing not how to feel, but how to appear. Still, every Barbie needs a Ken, and Hollywood ensures that need survives. However, romantic comedies do not teach intimacy, they teach expectation. They manufacture emotional templates, how attraction should begin, how conflict should resolve, how happiness should look beneath perfect lighting, and all within 90 minutes, neatly timed between laughter and closure. For young girls, these scripts become more than entertainment. They become rehearsal. In these films, intimacy is not experienced, but engineered. Every feeling follows choreography: meet, misunderstand, reconcile, climax. The disorder of the authentic affection, it is doubt, silence, and erosion, is edited out. What remains is romance without friction, emotion without depth, desire without consequence. In Hollywood mythology, intimacy is not built, it is found. Chemistry replaces communication, coincidence replaces commitment. And when real relationships demand effort, disappointment feels like personal failure. Barbie's perfection suggests inevitability, a body meant to be admired. Hollywood mirrors this fatalism, love as a fate, not commitment, beauty as a destiny, not acceptance. Romantic comedies are not merely stories, they are aesthetic instructions. Candlelight, skyline, soundtrack, all transform intimacy into a show. Intimacy becomes a scene to perform rather than a space to learn. Barbie's body was the first marketable fantasy. Hollywood simply expanded its terrain. Both industries trade in emotions as corporations trade in aesthetics. Packaged, repeatable, and obviously very profitable. Affection becomes a product line. Self-worth becomes a subscription. The result is not hope, but distortion. Girls grow fluent in cinematic love yet illiterate in emotional endurance. They learn to crave the drama of being loved more than the quiet work of loving. And when life refuses to imitate the script, they do not question the movie, they question themselves. Barbie sold the dream of perfection, Hollywood sold the illusion of romance, and now OnlyFans sells what remains: body as currency, intimacy as simulation. In this final stage, intimacy completes its metamorphosis into commodity. The postmodern Barbie does not need Ken, she needs followers. Not affection, but engagement, not touch, but attention. And somewhere between the filter and the paycheck, the human disappears. Perfectly visible and perfectly absent in the same time. In 2023, psychologists noted that OnlyFans creators experience anxiety and depressive symptoms at nearly twice the rate of non-creator peers, citing shame, social stigma, and chronic comparison as key drivers. A 2024 survey from Online Performance Guild found that 72% of creators feels pressured to produce more explicit material over time to retain subscribers, a phenomenon experts term progressive exposure fatigue. Despite the platform's global fame, over 90% of creators earn less than $200 per month, while the median income falls below minimum wage in United States. Statistics confirm what this culture hides. Most creators earn little, but pay heavily, in privacy, in peace, and in dignity. Their content is leaked, their worth is judged, their identity consumed. PTSD has a new group of clients. The body becomes content, affection and intimacy becomes analytics. Bonnie Blue's record attempt, having sex with 1,057 men in 12 hours, did not advance humanity. However, it revealed a milestone. A civilization that has emptied meaning of intimacy and replaced connection with performance that has no human emotion. What was once a language of affection has become a metric. What was once a gesture of connection has become an acting performance. Humanity learns nothing from such acts. It merely perfects its alienation. This is not the liberation of sexuality, but the annihilation of intimacy. Proof that in our hunger to be seen, we have forgotten how to feel. Bonnie Blue is no pioneer. She is a symptom, a byproduct of economy that mistakes exploitation for entrepreneurship. She contributes nothing to the human connection, only an excessive show that even OnlyFans, the architect of exposure, banned her from the platform.
I try to be myself.
Stop it.
You're taking it from me. That's your little secret.
Stop it.
Let's take a moment and reconsider. We must not confuse victim with the abuser. It was never the girl's fault for playing with Barbie. It was never the woman's fault for wanting to be seen. It was the society that taught her to exist through an appearance she did not design. Barbie was manufactured by corporate greed that profits from insecurity. Hollywood did not dream in innocence. It scripted desire to sustain consumption. And OnlyFans did not liberate sexuality or intimacy, it monetized loneliness and called it empowerment. We should not hold the participants accountable. We should see the architects behind the scenes. The child who learns to compare herself is not vain. She is educated into vanity. The woman who performs affection online is not corrupt. She is surviving within a market that rewards exposure and punishes silence. The true violence lies not in the participation, but in invention, in the boardrooms and algorithms that turned intimacy into currency, visibility into abuse. The managers, marketers, and shareholders who package vulnerability as a product. We forget who built this marketplace. Barbie remains Mattel's most profitable and recognizable brand, sustaining the corporation's empire of perfection. The movie itself is the highest grossing films of 2023 worldwide, made 1.45 billion USD. The revenue of 2023 is approximately 5.4 billion USD. Meanwhile, OnlyFans reported 7.2 billion USD only in fan payments for fiscal year 2024. From plastic to pixels, the transaction remains the same. Beauty monetized, vulnerability industrialized. Yes, there has always been abuse throughout human history, but never so digitally engineered, never so deeply embodied into the childhood itself. It begins early, cultivating insecurity, shaping fragile generations who inherit both economical and emotional poverty. What the postmodern world sells as an intimacy is only the shadow of what once bound people together. This industry did not invent desire, it only repackaged it. To see how far we have fallen, we must remember what intimacy once meant in the pre-modern world. Long before Barbie and the algorithms, there was Aristophanes. In Plato's Symposium, he tells a myth of love's origin, a myth that explains why humans desire for union. He tells that in the beginning, humans were not as they are now. Each person was a complete, spherical being with two faces, four arms, and four legs. These early beings were strong, proud, and self-sufficient, so powerful that they dared to challenge the gods. To humble them without destroying them, Zeus split each one in half. When two halves find each other, they embrace so tightly that they wish to reunite again into one being. So in his myth, intimacy is not about pleasure or conquest, but about recognition and reunion, the longing to restore our original unity. It's a vision of intimacy as something sacred, existential, and healing. And perhaps the crisis of postmodern intimacy is not that we cannot find our other half, but that we no longer remember what intimacy looks like.